Hey guys, Francis. And in Bitcoin news recently, we had the Tyler and Cameron Winkelvoss twins being presented to us by the mainstream media as this glamour duo that are the first Bitcoin billionaires. The first. What a nonsense. What an absolute nonsense that we're being fed here. Now, you might know these guys and have heard of their name before. They were allegedly the original idea behind Facebook and sued Mark Zuckerberg for and won a settlement of around $60 million on the basis that they had an idea. And he took it and ran with it, although they failed to execute it. So these square-jawed Harvard sort of rowing lads are being presented to us as the glamour couple, duo, more like, of Bitcoin. So I just want to say Bitcoin's soul and the cryptocurrency world for libertarian people is not in safe hands, and these guys are what I would call an embedded parasite of the control structure. First of all, by being integral to the creation of Facebook, something that I have immense suspicions about in terms of big data, mining and control, already proven to have run emotion-based test experiments on affecting people's mood under, our so feminized Sandberg lady CEO. This is not a place you want to be. Facebook associated. And these guys were essentially now being claimed as the first Bitcoin billionaires. That is absolutely incorrect. There are many people that have been engaged with Bitcoin far earlier than them, that probably have far more Bitcoins in their holding than them, and are certainly Bitcoin wealthier than them. That they've probably crossed $1 billion in valuation is most likely feasible, assuming they hung on to all their coins. There's no trade detail or information provided with that, but they seem to be the cause célèbre of the mainstream media. You can see it here as well. First official Bitcoin billionaires. Now, what I want to say about this, here's my take on that. If you saw Bitcoin, the making of Bitcoin as a money movie, there was a hearing of stakeholders in Bitcoin in New York. And a very Khazarian guy, Lawski, came on and was saying how Bitcoin is dangerous, it's bad, it's the pedophiles' money, all the usual bump that we all fail to mention as being equally relevant for cash, and that makes up an exceedingly low percentage of crypto use. The usual tarnishing, as I call it, for anything libertarian that lacks government control. These guys were the ones that in that meeting were calling for further regulation and saying it's the Wild West out there and we could maybe do with more regulation, inviting government in as if to say, as a Bitcoin entrepreneur, they were representing the interests of the crypto community and were stating that government was required and regulation was required. Subsequently to that, Lawski, who was receiving the support from the crypto community, and there were many that said government's involvement was not actively sought and regulation was not going to be supportive of what was still a fetal industry. These guys were the voice for holding the door open for government intervention. Lawski then set up licensing in New York and essentially put New York on the slow track, as most Bitcoin and crypto entrepreneurs have now moved out of the state and run the risk of moving out of America to go and forge this innovation in an environment where there isn't this license. Lawski, the guy who then regulated it for New York State, then quit government state after putting a fence around Bitcoin with the regulation he helped create, set up a consultancy to teach crypto entrepreneurs how to understand the laws that he created. So this is how you do something. You work for the government, or you get seconded for the government. You create regulation, and then you become a private consultant that everybody now needs to consult to find the loopholes and the manner in which to engage in that industry by the very guy who designed it. So it's the gamekeeper turned poacher approach, which is so obscene. Anyway, so you'll get the likes of Charlie Shrem, who was jailed because he provided bitcoins to somebody who was buying bitcoins for him, who was then providing those bitcoins for people that wished to utilize them for purchasing narcotics on the Silk Road. So Charlie Shrem, because he might have had some knowledge that the guy buying those coins from him was buying them with the intention of providing them to people who wished to buy guns or drugs, was subsequently jailed. Yet we have the 2008 banker crash that destroyed positively trillions, had people throwing themselves in front of trains in misery and ending their lives, that saw untold hardship on the working classes as the socialized cost of what was capitalized profits but socialized cost by the banking gambling cartel. Didn't see a single banker jailed in a meaningful manner. And HSBC, that was providing laundering services for the Mexican drug cartels, not a soul in that bank, with intervention of Osborne and then BIS chairman and soon to be Bank of England head Mark Carney. Go watch the letter, the YouTube that shows the letter written on the Queen's stationery while Osborne was serving as Chancellor, ensuring what the size of the fine would be and that there would be no prosecutions of any head of HSBC staff for the drug cartel. Yet you saw Charlie Shrem go to jail for providing money, for providing bitcoins to somebody who was buying bitcoins, and then making them available to a party twice removed from Charlie, who may be making purchases for drugs and or firearms. So this is the perverse society. These two guys are your Trojan horses that come and say, we asked for government to come in and regulate. These are the poster boys that the mainstream media will refer to now on matters of Bitcoin, and they are your square-jawed, GQ-modeled airheads, and it's great to be a billionaire airhead. There's no envy in that, I promise you. But they are the face. They are the parasites of the control structure, begging for the control structure to step in. And how did that regulation turn out on our banking system, lads? How the hell did it work out? Pretty good for you, no doubt. Not so great for the rest of society in the 2008 crash, the dot-com boom, the corporate criminals, that is the Federal Reserve, that is the banking system that gets to gamble at everybody else's expense, keeps the upside, socializes the downside. That's the regulation these guys are laying the red carpet down to invite. Go watch their role. These people are not, repeat, not involved or interested in the liberty side. These are not technical people, and these are not liberty-orientated people. These are social entrepreneurs that align themselves with a control structure to benefit themselves in self-enrichment, and to be part and parcel of commoditizing it and reducing it so that it can be brought under the same regime that will seek to control it and destroy it with their regulations that will back the one side at the cost of the other, always to the benefit of the control structure and at the cost of the people. So my view is, anything you hear about these two, I want you to understand, in my view, these people are the parasites, they are the Trojan horses, They do not, anything they express should be inverted in a Masonic way. Anything they express on cryptocurrency is almost the inversion. You should vote against anything that they put forward. They are government's frontmen. They're outriders for control structures, central bankers, and people that are afraid of the liberty that it brings to the masses. That is my take. That is my rant. The Winkelvosses are a purge to the crypto world. Cut them out. Downrate them. Every headline is a falsitude. Not only are they not the first, they are not the keepers of the flame. They are parasites, Trojan horses that will undermine the liberty of a free, decentralized, unregulated, because we've seen how regulation breaks down. That's it from me.